Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to League of Europe. We are here for F1 2020 action. It is Season 5, Division 1, Round 14 of the Championship as we take in the Italian Grand Prix from the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. My name is James Hay, going to be taking you through the stream as always. Joining me in the comment box is Mr. Michael Edwards. Mike, how you doing?
I am doing great and looking forward to this one as it could be a race of the season candidate for us.
It could be indeed, and we're just going to gloss over the fact that Dan is not here tonight. Dan obviously has been feeling a little bit stressed with exams, totally understandable, and I think of everyone that is undergoing exams, no matter what year you are in at this stage and no matter what country you are from, exam stress is always the same. And hopefully Dan will be refreshed enough to come back next week and take on his co-commentator's role. But I can proudly announce that Mr. Michael Edwards has now completed the lot. Apart from LOE ACC, you have now, or you are going to be commentating on, all 5 divisions of League of Europe, all F2 and F1 in terms of the F2 action, and LOE PC. So congratulations.
Yep, Grand Slam over and done with. Absolutely fantastic. But...
See, I'm going to take a while to get there, to be honest. I think because I've obviously been in Division 1 for 4 seasons, nobody has seen me in Division 3 or Division 5. Further down the order, they don't see me in League of Europe. But coming into tonight, as Mike mentioned, we have possibly got Montana wrapping up the championship tonight. Now, the permutations are, we've been working this out just before we came live. Montana is on 194 points, leading the way. M Short second on 155. It's a 39-point gap coming out of the Netherlands. Montana needs to win tonight. M Short has got to finish third or higher to be within a mathematical chance of winning the championship still going into Belgium next week. If he can't, and if he finishes 4th despite not getting the fastest lap of the race, that is it. Montana will win the championship because there are 52 points available after tonight, and that includes both fastest lap points for both Belgium and for Brazil. Got that? We'll try and remind you, of course, as we go along here at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. But it is Montana right on top on 194 points. M Short second on 155. Zhao Zhao third on 120 with a really good result last time out. T Daniel in fourth on 116. Verstappen fifth on 109. Justas sixth on 99 with Alpha Trick seventh. Not making it tonight on 86. Connor 8th on 84. Campbell 9th on 61. And Neo in 10th on 52 points. With the rest of the field following. Nathan Fake Yulbream in joint 11th on 51. Rockel 13th on 48. Hardy 14th on 33, You'll Melmat 15th on 28, we still go on, Vaporizer 16th on 21, Kumblai in 17th on 13, Ewan 18th on 11, Toxic 19th on 7, Kuka Games and Chapelletti tied for 20th on 5, and Wuter in 22nd on 2 points. And why don't you know it? We are better get going in towards qualifying.
Yep, and it's going to be an interesting one because Monza can also throw up some changeable conditions, and it's going to be interesting to see if these guys have done any wet practice to go along with their dry practice.
You'd like to imagine so, to be honest. I think obviously wet conditions around here. I've never really commentated on wet race in League of Europe in Monza before. I think I have before, but certainly not in the last couple of seasons, and hopefully we might get to see a dry race. Stephen in the comment section saying, let it rain in Monza. He is a massive fan of the rain, I've got to be honest, and hopefully we might get that for you here tonight. But short qualifying about to begin, 18 minutes worth of qualifying, and then of course we have got the 36 laps awaiting the guys out on track after this race. In fact, no, it's not, is it? It is 26 laps. I don't know why I've just said 36 laps for the guys out on track. It's 26 laps, I should say. I'm getting ahead of myself. I commentated on Canada last night. That's probably why.
And I think it's 27 laps, isn't it? For Monza?
27. So I think I think I'm wrong in both accounts, to be honest. Oh, we haven't got off to a great start here at all in League of Europe Division 1 here tonight. But we are about to get going, yeah. Oh my god, 27 laps awaiting these guys out on track. I nearly said 37 there. And hopefully we're going to be seeing some really good action out on track. You can tell I am not with it tonight. And before you at me in the comments section, no, I have not been drinking. I've got a half a bottle of water alongside me in the commentary box tonight. So don't worry about that. But we are going to see the all-important weather as we go into qualifying. And we remain to see, and Mike, you have predicted it right. My goodness me, it is absolutely tipping it down on full wet conditions as well.
Yeah, it must be me just bringing in the Welsh weather with me wherever I go on commentary. It just happens.
It really is. It really is. Full wet conditions then out on track. And this is going to be an absolute horror show, possibly, for some of the guys in terms of their strategies. What are they going to be doing? Are they going to prioritise a dry setup? Are they going to go for a wet setup here in qualifying? If it's going to be dry in the race, we like to imagine so it will be. So we'll be hoping the guys that will set competitive lap times in their cars out on track. But you can see with Kuki Games coming through the Retafilial chicane through turns 1 and 2, it is absolutely tipping it down of rain, heavy rain out on track, but we could see possibly towards the end of qualifying maybe a transition to inters.
Yeah, we could definitely see that, and see right now it is absolutely chucking it down, but if it starts to get lighter and later in the session, obviously some of these guys may not feel too much pressure to go out early and set times on the wets.
Kuki Games is the first man out on track. The Slovenian, of course, former Division 2 race winner and former Division 2 champion, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Kuki Games now coming through out of Lesmo 2 and on the run down and towards the Curva del Serrallo on the left-hand side there, the kink. Not counted as a corner around here. 78% of the lap can be taken at full speed in these conditions, so you would like to imagine it's probably more around the likes of 60% possibly.
Yeah, there's going to be so much feather in the throttle, especially coming out of Parabolica. Very easy to spin up the rear tyres on the exit of Parabolica, so let's see how Kuki Games can manage it as he's going to try for the best exit possible. And you can see him just getting a little bit sideways there, little snap of oversteer, and now he's got the power down, and let's see what he can do on his first flying lap.
5.7 kilometres, of course, in length this circuit. Kuki Games now running down and towards turn 1, already reaching in excess of 200 mile an hour. Braking just before the 100 metre point. You've got to get the car turned in. Don't worry about the yellow flags and Sector 3 just drivers preparing up for laps. Through turn 1 and 2, and Kuki Games again, a little bit leery on the power, but he really fights the car. Goodness me, as soon as I say that, a snap of oversteer nearly sends him spinning. Now through Curva Biasono, Curva Grande, however you like to call it. Kuki Games now up through the first sector, 28.8. Through the first sector is not too bad in these wet conditions. He comes through turns 4 and 5 at the Della Roggia chicane. In towards Lesmo 1, you can already see a very faint dry line actually forming out on track, which will indicate that the track will transition to inters maybe later on in this session. Kuki Games now through Lesmo 1, out of Lesmo 2 now, and he really gets on the power. Doesn't want to get on that white curb because he will be sent flying into the wall, and I'm sure somebody will do that in this session. Kuki Games on the run under the tunnel, down in towards Ascari, and through in towards turn 8, 59.4 through the middle sector from Kuki Games. He gets caught on the curve coming through Ascari. What a recovery though from Kuki Games. He keeps the car going and he keeps the lap time valid as well. Really good recovery there by the Slovenian, and he's now out on track up toward the final couple of corners. We've got a Red Bull of Connor, I believe, in behind as well. But Kuki Games now through the final two corner, through Parabolica, I should say, with Alex Peroni's incident back in the minds of people as Kuki Games now comes across the line, and it's a 1:30.1 to start off the evening. We'll just kind of try and catch on board with Connor. Connor really catching a snap of oversteer as well. I think he might be quicker than Kuki Games. He's going to be well quicker than Kuki Games, 29.3, and that's more like it in terms of the wet conditions.
Yeah, these wet conditions already showing just how difficult it can be around this track. Of course, we saw Kuki just losing the car through Ascari, and that's going to be something that these guys are going to have to keep an eye out for as Neo pops into second with a 29.6, so a good lap there from XL Neo.
Montana fighting the car out of Parabolica. I don't think he's going to go quicker for this lap. Comes across the line. He goes second, 29.5. So advantage Connor early on. Nearly 5 minutes gone in qualifying. Conrad on top, Montana second, Neo in third. M Short is on a lap as well. Justas is going up into ninth there. M Short invalid on a lap, so he obviously cut one of the two chicanes, I would imagine. And M Short is invalidated, and that will not set his championship hopes up very good indeed. It looks like he could prepare for another lap. Of course, you can go lap after lap after lap in these conditions, and the track will begin to improve because the wet conditions, these wet tyres, as Rocco goes to the top. Bit of a shock. Rocco goes to the top. The relentless man on top from Connor second, Montana in third. I was just about to say, these wet tyres can dispose of 75 litres of water per second out on track. If you were on a set of inters, you would be only doing 25 to 30 litres of disposal of the wet weather out on track. It's just a fun fact there for everyone. As Chapelletti went second and 1,000th off Rocco.
I was just about to say, Chapelletti only missing out on provisional pole by 1,000th of a second.
Oh!
As we got Campbell there going up into provisional pole with a 29.306, so 15 hundredths of a second as Neo improves.
I think Montana's going to improve ahead of everyone, possibly. Campbell's still second, but now Montana coming to the line. And he goes quickest by 5,000ths of a second. He hasn't got Alpha Tricks to worry about here tonight, but Montana out on top a third of the way through. Neil second and Campbell in third. And it comes to show these guys on the second lap of wet compounded tyres, they really try and get the lap times in, and they are getting improvements, which is crucial.
Yeah, I think the thing with the wet tyres is that they take a lap to really bite into the track. So the first laps are just sighter laps, and then you start to see the real times coming in. As Rocco there puts it on provisional pole with a 29.144.
I would create a game, by the way, and just say take a shot for every single time we see somebody go pole here tonight in qualifying. You'll be drunk by the end of qualifying, I think. Rocco's out on top, Montana second, Neo in third, Campbell in fourth, Chapelletti in fifth. We do not condone alcoholism, by the way, on this stream. Do not even think about it now that I've said that. Rocco out on top, the Montana second, and Neo in third. Connor improved on a third lap on the wet tyres, and he went 800th quicker with a 129.2, puts himself into fourth. I'm just trying to see if there's anybody else on lap times. Neil looks like he's going to come into the pit lane. Montana is looking like he's going to come into the pit lane possibly as well out to the final corner. In fact, this is a quick lap by Montana. He might actually not come into the pits. Montana's on a good lap here. He comes across the line. Oh! 128.8, and Montana absolutely ridicules the field once again in qualifying.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I'm currently on board with M Short, who invalidated his first two runs, but he's keeping it valid at the moment. A 59.1 in the middle sector as he comes through Ascari now. He did have a slight snap of oversteer in the middle sector, but manages to skate his way through Ascari on the ragged edge now down towards Parabolica. What is this going to be for M Short? He comes through the final corner, tries to get on the power as early as possible, not lose the back end, not wheel spin the rears and to the line, and it's going to be a 29.6.
Disappointing. He's 1,000th off Kumblai as well, and Kumblai invalid coming through Ascari. But M Short, really disappointing. 29.6, I should say, out on track. Chapelletti, by the way, has just gone second, so good lap there from him, the German, 28.9, as Connor goes to the top, and that's the fifth man, I think, as Campbell goes to the top now. Goodness me, I may as well just shut up at this point. Campbell to the top, Connor now second, and Montana now third. Goodness me, we're getting a lot of improvements. Neo is improving. I think he's into the pit lane, actually coming into the pit. There's a yellow flag coming through the final sector. Montana has run out of fuel, I think. The Daniel is on an in lap and thought he was going to go past his team. Oh, there's a Ferrari gone spearing into the wall, and that's Ruta. I think has gone spearing into the wall, Leclerc style 2020.
Oh, that's heartbreaking for Ruta. He's only got a 30 flat on the board at the moment, but fortunately for him, he's not out of the session. He can come back into the pits and get himself mentally prepared to go back out there and improve on that time. I'm currently on board with Verstappen as Hardy's out of the session.
Yeah, Hardy retiring. That's actually coming across the line. That is coming
wow.
across the line. I'm just going to see, because M Short's coming through the final corner now, and he's improving by a tenth. Where on earth has he lost this? He's lost this, actually. Halfway down the straight. Has he caught the rear wheel on the final corner on the curb at a Parabolica, trying to recover the car, left, right, and then he's gone into the pit wall. Unless it's reset him to track, that's all I could think. As M Short, by the way, went 7th with a 1:29.2.
M Short up in the 7th place, right behind his teammate, as we got Verstappen now to the line. What's this going to be? It's going to be up in P5 for Kvyat Verstappen. A good lap there from the man in the Renault.
Yeah, good lap from Verstappen, 29 flat. Campbell out on top, though. Connor second. Montana in third. And it really seems to me as if we're beginning to see this being a wheel-heavy track, I think, in these wet conditions. Oh, there's a crash in the background. Fakey Ulbream has crashed out the session, and that's on the exit of Ascari. I just saw that right on board with Campbell in the back of shot as Ulbream crashes his way into the wall, and he is out the session as well.
Yep, the track in these conditions is definitely testing these drivers out there, and unfortunately, Jewel Beam and Harvey have been victims so far. But
M Shorts just nearly lost it coming through Ascari as well. He went fully into the gravel, and he was 2 tenths up still. But I think he's now backed off.
Yeah, he's backed off now. But M Short definitely looking like he's got pace to climb himself up the order a bit. Maybe come into the pitch, check on a fresh set of the wet compound tyres. Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do.
To be honest, the rain is not getting any lighter out on track. We could see that transition to inters before the end of the session. Not sure what the weather's going to do. Kuka Games has just put himself into third, and that is on 6-lap old wet compound tyres. So Kuka Games going third on 6-lap old tyres. Campbell's on pole by 4-lap old tyres, as Justas now goes second with a 1:28.7. Goodness me.
Yeah, it's getting very competitive at the top end right now. We're seeing new times getting set in, people getting bumped down, and you see it right now. I'm looking on board with Rocco as he comes up towards Ascari in the second sector split. He's only marginally down on his lap time at the moment, but he's just invalidated it there.
And there was a car off just in front of him, and that was his teammate Josh. Josh was off coming through Ascari, gets out of the way. He might have been giving him tow, I'm not sure. It looked like he made a mistake, though, just coming out. Rocco is going to be coming into the pit lane, I would imagine, unless he goes for another lap. But I think he might actually be going for another lap here. No, I'm wrong. He comes into the pit lane.
Yeah, I think maybe we were about to see some Haas teamwork there, as Josh was waiting for Rocco to come through Ascari, but unfortunately for Rocco, just getting over the limits of the track and validating his lap time, and now his teammate Josh just starting his lap to come through the first chicane at turns 1 and 2. Now on the power gingerly now as we go towards the Curva Grande. Let's see what this first sector split is for Josh. He's up by over a tenth.
Yeah, 28.3 through the first sector. I was on board with Neo, by the way, on a lap, and he's going to improve the order here. Neo comes toward the line, and he goes 9th. Well, not much of an improvement up the order. He only gains 1 position, but a 1:29.1 for him out on track. Nathan, by the way, did improve as well. He went up to 6th on his lap, 28.9 on his return after a couple of weeks off due to internet issues. Looks like he was lagging there slightly. Neil went 9th. Josh coming through the end of the middle sector is 5 tenths up. So Josh is up by 5 tenths of a second, and if it's anything to go by in Formula 2, where we've seen him in wet conditions really excelling out on track, he could be one of the guys to watch. Montana is the one behind him, I believe, out on track.
Yeah, I believe...
It's not, it's D. Daniel.
D. Daniel. Yeah, D. Daniel.
Wrong racing point. Josh coming out the final corner, really fighting the car, oh my god! Leading the wall, and he's invalidated. Literally coming across the line. It would have been a 29.2. Where's Montana out on track? He's 8 thousandths up, coming out of the middle sector on the road towards Parabolica. He's now got to really fly out of Parabolica and try and get himself on pole. He really needs this. Campbell's down on top, Justas second. Connor in third. Montana now out through the final corner. I don't think he's going to go top. Montana comes across the line, and he doesn't improve. Montana does not improve on that lap time at 28.9, and I think we might maybe reach peak performance in terms of the lap times.
Maybe, yes. Ruta now to the line. He's going to cross and jump himself up into P10.
Neil improved slightly just ahead of him as well. 29 flat from him. He improved by about half a tenth, so Neil stays 9th, Ruta 10th out on track. I'm short on an outlap. Kublai just starting up on a lap. Daniel
He just finished one.
is on a lap, and that was Kublai.
Yeah, he just finished and improved by about 4 tenths, got himself up in the 13th.
58.9 through the middle sector. Daniel really hugging the curb and nearly flies. Half spins it coming out of Ascari, and now on the run up towards Parabolica. 29.2 for him out on track with 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Campbell out on top. Justas second and Connor in third, and probably one of the craziest qualifying sessions I think we've had all season here in Division 1. Dan, my friend, you're missing out as Ruta retires coming through Lesmell 2, comes across the line. Daniel 28.9, improves by nearly 3 tenths, puts him in 8th, but Ruta crash coming through Lesmell 2.
Vaporizer jumps up into 7th there with a 28.9.
Yeah, 28.9 from Vaporizer, good lap time from him, another one that is on the wheel. And Campbell's out on top. Justas second, Connor in third. Connor's out of the middle sector. I'm not really sure what he's doing. And Montana, yeah, goes second. 28.7. We are not even at the end of qualifying yet. There's still going to be plenty of improvements to be found, I would think. Connor is 1800s up. Kuka Games has just started up on a lap as well. But Connor now coming out of the final corner. And I think he is going to come into the pit lane as Connor. No, he's actually going to go on a lap. He just backed off coming through the final sector and didn't improve. Campbell looks like he could improve. He's got Rocco just ahead of him out on track. Rocco doesn't improve. Campbell though doesn't improve either. Really hard to find improvements coming through this final sector.
Yes, we've got M Short now coming through Parabolica, and at the second sector split he was just under 2 tenths up on this time. He's going to need to find a bit more if he wants to get pole position. To the line, it's going to be a 0.8. He gets himself up into 6th.
That's a better lap from M Short. Really better lap, and Montana's second, and he's only a 10th off him. So M Short and Montana looking very, very consistent and very quick in terms of the lap times. In fact, I think everyone is at this stage. It's one of these qualifying sessions where you can't really follow on just one driver. Daniel just went up into 7th there, 28.8. Good improvement from him. Got Justas on a lap and Kuka Games on a lap as well. Connor is invalid. Montana is not on a lap, and Campbell's a 10th and a half up coming through the first sector. But we're on a board with Connor, who's just invalidated coming down the hill, and Kuka Games is coming through the final couple of corners as well. So let's see the Williams out on track, and I don't think he's going to improve. I think he's backed off. Maybe as a result of mistake, and Nathan's retired just out of Ascari, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's clipped the inside curb on the exit of Ascari, and around he goes as Neo to the line. Finds some improvement, gets himself up into 7th, right behind his teammate.
Justas is on a good lap here, I feel, as well. The Lithuanian coming out through the final couple of corners, and Justas will be hoping to try and get Campbell. Comes to the line, doesn't improve in the end, 29 flat, but he's got one more lap within him. Montana has just started up on a lap, and he's 500s down. Out of the first sector, Verstappen goes third with a 28.7 out on track. Campbell is into the pit lane. He is done. Campbell is done out on track. He retires in the pit lane. He feels he's done enough. I'm not so sure. Kuka Games is a 10th and a half up, but he's been invalidated. M Short to the line, goes second, 28.712. And goodness me, have you ever seen it so close between M Short, Montana, and Verstappen out on track? We'll have to ride on board with Montana for the remainder of this lap. We're going to see improvements further down the field. Rocco might be on a good lap as well, just coming out of the first sector, but Montana 300ths down, coming out of the middle sector. This has now got to be an electric final sector, but not like if he does that coming out of Ascari, and it's not really going to tell him. Vaporizer goes second with a 28.702. It's literally going to be 1,000th of a second, I think, separating first and second in qualifying here. Montana coming out through the final corner, really has to fight the car, really has to put it to the line now. Montana, is he going to go quicker than Campbell? Comes to the line, no! 200ths down. Montana doesn't improve. Verstappen is up in the middle sector, 300ths improvement. Justas is coming up towards the line as well. Rocco is on a lap just behind him, but Justas now, the Lithuanian, can he do it? 6th position currently, 28.7 out on track. I think this is good. Justas now out of the final corner. Is he going to improve ahead of Campbell? I think he is. And he does! 28.5, but look at Verstappen! Verstappen 300's up, Rocco goes second! But now Verstappen, he's not improving! And now I think is the end of qualifying, unless Josh sets an absolute unreal lap, he's 4/10 up, coming out of the final sector through Parabolica. Justas on top, Rocco second, Josh, is he going to lay it up? No, he won't! It is Justas! On pole position in one of the craziest qualifying sessions and the closest qualifying session you will ever see here in LOE Division 1. Let's have a run through the order. Justas in the end by 1/10 of a second, but my god, look how close it is in behind. Rocco is second, Campbell third, Vaporizer fourth, M. Short in fifth, Montana in sixth, Verstappen seventh. You've got 6 drivers covered by 400ths of a second out on track. That is unreal. Connor 8th, Kooky Games 9th, Chapelelli 10th, Neil 11th, and D. Daniel and 12th. They're covered by 600ths of a second as well. Neil 13th, Gil Melmac 14th, Wouter, Josh, Kumbly, Fake Yilbream and Hardy, Oyor 19. My God almighty, top 14 are separated by 3.5 of a second just over. What an unreal qualifying session.
Absolutely unbelievable, and we was on our edge right till the very end, and now we gotta hope.
Please be dry.
Yeah, please be dry,
yes!
so we can get some racing.
Yes, it is dry. I'm very happy it is dry. I think that's the most excited I've been for a dry race so far. We have had wet qualifying, full wet qualifying, and it produced what we saw there. Now a dry race, these guys have got to be committed. How do they transition? I think I asked you this earlier on in the week in TTML. How do they transition from a full wet qualifying session straight into a dry race within a matter of moments?
I think for these guys, they've done it enough times over the years that they can instantly go from wet to dry and dry to wet. But it is going to take, I think, maybe a lap. Maybe like the formation lap plus the first lap, maybe just try and feel where everything is. Of course, a lot more grip now in the dry, so they're going to be pushing the limits, I think, on that.
Oh, they will be pushing the limits, and I'm sure we should see the pinch point effect down in towards turn 1, but I'm really hoping that we do get to see some great action out on track. Packer, by the way, saying his internet is down, so Division 3, I think, has just been restarted in terms of the stream. Division 4 also live with us, but if you are like us and you are the GOAT commentary team, well, GOAT fill-in, one of us, at least. We are here for 27 laps, of course, in Italy.
We could be the pun team. How about that?
Oh, the pun team. I don't know if we're going to get many puns out of this race tonight. I think we're going to be too busy focused on the action out on track. But in all seriousness, let's have a look at the strategies out on track. Everyone pretty much going for that set of mediums. It should be a simple one-stop. Mediums to softs towards the end of the race. Softs to hards, you would imagine, for the guys who are starting. They are Justas, Rocco, Vaporizer, Montana, Nathan and Wouter, all on a set of soft compound attire. Montana, really, really good to see him on a set of softs, trying something different. Everyone else on a set of mediums. Surely these guys on a set of softs are going to get up to temperature straight away, but it doesn't mean that their tyres are going to wear as great as what they will out on track, because I would think the pit stops will happen from around maybe lap 7, lap 8 to go onto a set of hards for these softs.
Yeah, maybe they might even try and extend it to maybe lap 9, because obviously these are fresh softs, and they may try soft medium instead of soft hard.
Could do, and it's a very quick formation lap around here. Justas on pole for the first time this season, Rocco in second and Campbell in third. If you predicted that top 3, well done, because I wouldn't have. I would have just went plain and simple and went Montana top, but he's 6th, and look who's ahead of him. M. Short is ahead of him on track. This is going to be quite fiery.
Yep, this is going to be extremely tasty, and both on different strategies as well at the start. M. Short on the mediums, Montana on the softs. You got to think Montana's going to have the grip to get off the line quicker and get ahead, but we know M. Short is going to be fighting Montana every step of the way.
All the cars now coming on to the grid. We'll see Hardy right on board with in 19th position. Yildirim just ahead of him. Kublai joining up into his grid position as well. We're just moments away from round 14 of the championship. A championship could be crowned in the time to Montana. M. Short is starting ahead of him, and we're about to go green very shortly indeed here in Italy. The 5 red lights are now on here in Italy for the Autodromo Nacional de Monza. Round 14 of the championship is underway, and Justas gets a really good start. So does Rocco, and so does Vaporizer. He's probably electric better than the other guys ahead of him. But Justas and Rocco, Montana side by side with M. Short, and M. Short's got a great start, and he's down the inside trying to go 3 wide. He's putting the Red Sea just in behind. That's Campbell having to drop over the curb, but M. Short gets caught, and there's all sorts of carnage. And look at the front too. Justas and Rocco have absolutely stolen away with this. There's more contact further down the field. Chapelelli is round. I think Reuter has been caught up in that. Vaporizer has been caught up in that as well. What on earth happened coming through turn 1? Campbell's got a 5-second penalty, but Justas and Rocco, whatever happened in behind us, Montana and M. Short go side by side, and M. Short got put in the gravel there by Montana. Justas leading the way, Rocco in second, Campbell in third. The craziest opening lap I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, and it was all from 3 wider into turn 1. M. Short trying to part the way for the Red Sea, and I believe I'm not sure whether it was Verstappen or Campbell who got forced over the curb.
It was Campbell. He got a 5-second penalty. It was Campbell. He was on the inside line. M. Short tried to go through the middle, and then around the outside of him was Montana. And now look at Nathan right on the back of Verstappen. These softs are absolutely flying early on. It's Nathan just lagging slightly. Verstappen there in 5th. Nathan in 6th. He doesn't want to rear-end him out on track. Cookie Games is chasing, but at the end of lap 1, look at the gap the front two have got. Justas leads 0.8 of a second. Rocco in 2nd. Campbell in 3rd, and Campbell is 2.2 seconds off the back of Rocco. That is how much it is being cost us. Now Verstappen looks to try and get Nathan down in towards turn 1. I don't think he's going to be close enough though. M. Short, as a result of that part of the Red Sea moment, there's no doubt he's going to be investigated by the steward. To Chapelelli has retired into the pit lane. Vaporizer, Reuter and Connor also into the pit lane as a result of damage. But M. Short down because of Montana. I'm not sure if he forced him into the gravel. It looked like that from a very far right camera angle. And M. Short currently in 8th position. Montana's in 4th. Montana not doing enough at this moment in time to try and get the championship at this stage, but it's early on.
Yep, it is still early doors here, and we're only on, I believe we're on lap 2, even though the graphic says lap 3 for me. But yeah, a bit of contact early on. Connor, Reuter and Vaporizer all in the pits, fresh tyres for them. And what do you think they're going to need now to try and salvage their race? Do you think a safety car is needed for them?
I was going to say 2 words, safety car. Safety car is what's needed. Connor especially, he's on the set of soft compound tyre. He's probably going to be the quickest man out on track. Reuter and Vaporizer need a safety car. Connor has got the pace to catch back up, but he's more than 20 seconds down off the back as a result of damage, running down in towards turn, and running onto lap 2. But Justas leading the way. DRS now enabled this lap around. Rocco's there in 2nd, Campbell in 3rd. Neo and Hardy are going side by side, running down the straight for 14th position. Not in the points, but Neo was through on Hardy, and Hardy now has to try and fight back on Neo. Both of them, of course, in the same team of Excel. They've got a QVR man just ahead in Kublai, in the point scoring position at this stage, actually in 13th, I should say. And M. Short was right on the back of Cookie Games.
Yeah, Cookie, I think, thought M. Short may have
look at D. Daniel! D. Daniel down the inside line. Can he get the move done on M. Short? No, he can't. M. Short hangs on for 8th. Go on.
Daniel there trying to take advantage of the situation there. Cookie, it looked like he just missed his breaking point, almost went straight into the back of Verstappen, and that allowed Daniel to really try and take advantage of M. Short there.
Justas leading the way. Rocco was closing them down. He's got DRS. Montana now beginning to try and reel in on Campbell. Mediums against softs. You would imagine that Montana has probably got the quicker speed in terms of these two guys. But Campbell just locking up there down in towards Parabolica. Coming out through Parabolica. And Campbell slightly quicker. But now Montana's immediately on the overtake mode. And I may as well just shut up at this point, because I think Montana is going to get the move done. Look at Nathan's closing speed though in behind. Nathan could get Campbell on the run down. He could get both of them, in fact. Montana is going to be through. And he's into P3. Nathan lunges it down the inside line, trying to get the move done around around the outside through 2, but he doesn't, and Campbell holds on to 4th. Nathan in 5th, but Nathan, I think, more than entitled to go for that move. He's on a set of soft compound tyre. He may as well try and get the move done on Campbell sooner rather than later, because all of these guys in a set of softs are really working. M. Short is nearly going to go side by side in towards the Della Rogers chicane with Kuka Games, and Kuka Games hangs on and stays in 7th for now.
Yeah, Nathan really just trying to follow Montana through as efficiently as possible. Wasn't able to do it in the first chicane, but he's going to be able to use those softs to good effect to close up in the corners to maybe get Campbell on the DRS straight down towards turn 1.
Yeah, Nathan right on the back of Campbell, further down the field as well. M. Short trying to get onto the back of Kuki. He's now lashing onto the back of Verstappen. So a big old DRS strain from 6th down to 7th. Campbell is round! Campbell is round! Coming out of through a score. He's got caught on the outside curb. He's got right side end plate damage on the car. No recovery there for Campbell. And now he recovers the car and he's got damage. And Campbell now potentially... Nathan was going to get the move done anyways, but that's just made his job now for Campbell a hell of a lot harder.
Yep, Campbell is going to be a big recovery drive. I think, yeah, he is going to have to pit, and with that 5-second time penalty, is he going to be serving in the pits? So it's a corner cutting penalty, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a corner cutting penalty, but what I'm going to say is he going to go into a set of hard compounded tyres towards the end of the race? 23 laps I've seen make it around here. I think Campbell, and he has. Campbell has gone on to a set of hards. 23 laps can make it. It's an easy one-stop on that tyre. And Campbell now, watch out for him later on in this race. If there's a safety car, he's right in the mix. M. Short is side by side with Kuka Games. Around the outside through Lesmo 1. Trying to get the move done. He's forced out wide. He's still side by side though. But Kuka Games hangs on. And Kuka Games still in 6th and 7th. D. Daniel right on the back as well, but M. Short now surely going to get the run through Kevin Del Serralio, and he's got the job done. Eventually on Kuka Games, he had to wait for it, but M. Short is through, and he's into 6th position. And more time he gains, the more he is going to be trying to hunt down Montana, potentially to stay within the championship fight.
Yeah, and M. Short, he is using everything he has to try and go within that DRS window of Verstappen. I think he's just outside it at the detection point, and we'll see if he is close enough. I don't think he is though, and oh, he is.
He is. I think he was within 9/10 of a second there on the back of Verstappen. He is closing them down. Nobody going to be close enough. Yulbreen on Josh though for 10th currently out on track. AlphaTauri against Haas, and he pulls off to the left-hand side, just cover off the line, and Yulbreen is through. Nice move there by the German on Josh, and he's through, and he's into 10th position out on track. So Yulbreen through there on Josh. Any moves further up the field? Montana is catching Rocco. Montana is catching Rocco! Oh my god, he got caught on the curb coming through Della Rogers chicane, and he nearly spun the car. But Rocco, right on the back of Justas. Justas looks like he's got a better final sector than Rocco. Rocco catches up in the DRS straight, but down in towards Parabolica, Justas just pulls away again. But they're both being caught by Montana now.
Yep, Montana definitely the man on the pace right now, and yeah, I see what you mean. Rocco, he's just not getting the run out of Ascari that he needs to really put Justas under pressure.
I've just thought, by the way, if Montana gets onto the back of Rocco and overtakes him, and gets onto the back of Justas and overtakes him, he's going to be in the lead of this race. And M. Short, when he comes into the pit lane, you would imagine if something happens to Justas and Rocco and they battle, M. Short will be in 4th position. And we talked about championship permutations. Montana would be essentially champion if anything happens to the front two. I'm not saying it will, but it could happen.
Right now I'm looking at the gap between Montana and M. Short, and it is around 5 seconds at this moment in time.
Yeah, and M. Short has got the advantage of DRS, and that's going to try and drag him along, with Verstappen just ahead. And M. Short will be hoping to try and get into this. I'm sure the M. Short fan club is going to be watching in the comment section. If he just doesn't make a mistake like that, however, he might be still on for this championship hope going into next week, of course, in Belgium. And what a round, of course, to end off the season. Brazil to end off the season, as traditionally does here in League of Europe. But Justas leading the way. Rocco second, Montana third. Nearly a third of the way through the race already. And Nathan in 4th. And Nathan, all of these guys on a set of soft compound tyre, apart from Connor, who picked up a bit of damage, these guys are now front 4. out on track.
Yep, they have used their softs to fantastic effect to get to the front and to pull a bit of a gap. The question is, later on in the race, when the advantage goes back to the likes of Verstappen, M Short, the Cookie Games, are they going to be able to defend on worn mediums?
You'd like to imagine so, to be honest, because on worn mediums, they're going to be fresher towards the end than the guys who will put on a set of soft compounded tyre, and we may see that out on track, because they cannot go mediums, otherwise they'll be breaking the rules of F1, and they'll be disqualified from the race. They cannot do that. They have to go either a set of hards and pit in, or a set of softs. I think, judging by how little tyre wear there is around this track, it would be sensible, I think, if the guys on a set of mediums came in from around lap 15, lap 16, went on to a set of softs, got to the end of the race, and they're going to be really trying to fight later on in this race to hold on for some of these positions. Justas leading the way still, Rocco second, Montana in third. It's a little bit of a bore at this moment in time. Hopefully we'll provide you with a battle further down the field. Hardy catching Neo, 13th and 14th out on track, 4/10 of a second running down in towards Ascari, and not going to be close enough. M Short looking on the back of Verstappen, about as close as I've ever seen him, to be honest.
Yeah, as Hardy picks himself up a 3-second time penalty there. I think M Short is using Verstappen, using the DRS just to save up his ERS, because he used all of it to catch up, as I believe that's Vaporizer.
Yeah, Vaporizer lost it coming through Curva Grande, Curva Biasono, and he hasn't got damage, so he might have just caught on the curb and lost the rear end slightly on the exit of the corner. Justas still leading the way, Rocco second, Montana in third. Montana eating into that advantage, 1.7 seconds. Last time I looked, 2.4. It's now a 7/10 gain over the course of 3 laps. So around 2.5 gain per lap, Montana on Rocco and on Justas ahead. And look at that, he's just taken 3/4 of a second out of Rocco coming out through the Della Roccia chicane.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic, and he's taken even more through the Lesmos.
Is he on an in-lap? Possibly. Is he on an in-lap now and going to pit for a set of mediums?
Could be very possible. He is pushing quite, quite ferociously, I'd say, at the moment. Just getting on that inside curve in Ascari, and fair play, able to hold it, and obviously that's going to be, a tricky corner.
He's within DRS as well. He is within DRS as well, but what is going to happen here? Is Justas coming in? No, he jukes. Rocco is not coming in, and Montana's not either. Rocco is going to look quite closely on the back of Justas. Run down in towards someone. Nathan is the first one to come in. I think rightfully so. He was in clear air, and he comes in for a set of softs, and he is going to rejoin as Rocco contacts the back of Justas, and look where Montana is. Montana's right on the back, and M Short and Verstappen side by side as well. This is suddenly kicked off. Rocco into the back of Justas. Let him go, however, so Rocco will not get a penalty as a result of that. Justas still in the lead of this race. Rocco in second. Verstappen, though, now right on the back of M Short. M Short still trying to fight. Verstappen is going to try and attack. Running down in toward the Della Roccia chicane. I don't think he will, and M Short stays fourth. Verstappen in fifth. But that bit of contact that Rocco made on Justas, look at where Montana is. He's now 5/10 off them.
Yep, Montana now all over the back of the front too. M Short now in a bit of clear air. Now he's got ahead of Verstappen. Now we can see that gap between the two championship rivals is 5.9 seconds.
And that gap's only going to increase because M Short is obviously not within DRS. Montana is. Montana is crucially within that DRS range, out on track, and he's going to be pulling away. Saying that, though, M Short absolutely flew coming out of Ascari, and he's just getting 0.8 of a second. 0.4 of a second on the back of Montana. I think, though, these guys are going to be coming into the pit lane, surely. Justas is in. Rocco is in. Montana stays out and goes for an extra lap, and it's going to be an in-lap surely now for Montana. He has got to commit this as D. Daniel and Kuki Games are running side by side, running down the straight just in front, the foreground of shot now, as it is pretty much a drag race. D. Daniel on the outside line, Kuki Games on the inside line. D. Daniel tries to look around the outside. Kuki Games leaves him very short of room. Really no room at the end there. Kuki Games really should have gave him a lot more room. If I've got to be honest, D. Daniel was never going to get up the inside as a result of that closing gap. And D. Daniel, when there's a car alongside you, you've got to give him respect. And I don't think Kuki Games gave him much respect there.
Yeah, the door was well and truly shut on D. Daniel there, and he goes from challenging for 4th place and losing out. Now he's in 6th place.
Yeah, and D. Daniel now with Yul Melmat. Yeah, Yul Melmat is through now and he's into 5th. And D. Daniel, and look at Yulbream. Yulbream's right on the back of this as well. Surely Montana is going to be pitting in this lap. He's coming out of Ascari. 5.5 tenths of a second is the gap. But the gap to Justas, his NSX teammate, 21.3 seconds out on track. I believe a pit stop around here was 22 seconds. It's going to be close.
Yep, it is, and we're going to see now if Montana is going to come into the pits this lap. Surely he has to respond.
Yeah.
And yes, he does. He's in.
I don't think he's done enough because M. Short was catching him that lap. I don't think he's done enough unless Justas has had an absolute shocker. But I've just seen the gap and he's getting the second on Josh alone on this lap. So Justas is flying and has pulled away from Rocco. Montana then into the pit lane. Justas coming out the final corner. Montana and Justas. This is going to be close. I think Justas has got this. I think he's going to be side by side with Rocco coming out the pit lane. Rocco is there, just coming past camera shot. There's Montana and Rocco's ahead. So Rocco is ahead of Montana. I mean, pretty much stays we are. So Montana, 1 lap extra on that set of soft compound tyres has cost him more than a second, and he's out of DRS range. So that's costly.
Yeah, but crucially, I don't know what happened with Rocco, but he's lost a lot of time to Justas.
I think Justas has just been as quick on those tyres. I mean, the gap I looked at the start of the lap was 9.1 seconds. It was 8.1, and look now, it's 7.1 out on track. Reuter, Campbell, side by side, running down in towards turn 1. I think Campbell has actually just done him around the outside coming through turn 1. So Campbell is through, and he's into 16th position. Didn't see that in its entirety, but I believe Campbell has got the move done around the outside, and he's through and he's into 16th.
Yep, good move for Campbell, and of course Campbell, he's on this recovery drive as well as Reuter and Vaporizer and Connor, who I mean, he's at the pace. He's only 4.3 seconds off the back of Nathan, so he's done a good job on those soft tyres, but he still has to make that second pit stop, I think.
He does have to make that second pit stop, and yet Connor will surely not get to the end of the race. Here comes Montana, though, on the back of Rocco. Next second position out on track, and Montana is going to breeze past his old rival, the Relentless Man. Now down into net 3rd, as Montana is into net 2nd, now into 12th position and within the points. Out now on track. It is M. Short leading the way, halfway through pretty much here in Monza. I was going to say in Mexico for some reason there. Goodness me. I'm really not with it tonight. M. Short on top, Verstappen 2nd, Kuka Games in 3rd, Yul Melmat in 4th, and Yul Melmat there in the right place at the right time at this stage in 4th. But all of these guys are stuck within a DRS train. They're being dragged along by M. Short, and M. Short is the one that's going to be losing out at the end of the day, because Montana is now through on Rocco and he's into net 2nd. M. Short was 6th before Montana and Lamb came into the pit stops. So I think, if my calculation is right, M. Short will not be winning the championship in this current scenario. He has got to fly as Campbell has lost it coming out through the De La Rocha chicane.
Oh no, it goes from bad
Damage.
to worse with the Scotsman.
Left side end plate damage as well on the car, and the Renault. The Scotsman really struggling out on track. Just 2 silly little errors. It can catch you out, and it does catch you out around here in Monza. And Campbell now down in 17th. Pretty much all hopes of any result out of this track has now gone, unless there is a safety car. And there could possibly well be towards the end of the race. It's still M. Short leading, Verstappen in 2nd, Kuki Games in 3rd. We are halfway through, but M. Short controlling the race. But M. Short is the one that is going to be really, really at the hands of the likes of Nathan and Connor further down the field, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, for M. Short right now, I think you said 22 seconds roughly the pit stop window is, and
yeah,
it's going to come out just ahead of Connor at the moment. Now, Connor will need to make a pit stop. The question is M. Short going to have enough pace on those softs to catch the likes of Nathan back up? Is he going to be able to catch Rocco, Montana? I mean, just as he's approaching Josh, who is well, he's in a bit of a no man's land at the moment, is Josh, but not too far up the road is the train of M. Short.
Ooh! And M. Short comes in. M. Short is in. Yul Melmat is in. And Connor's on a set of 11 lap old softs. Montana is coming through the final corner. He's going to be well behind. He's on a set of softs. He's going to be well behind Rocco, and he's going to be behind Nathan out on track. He's going to slot in where Nathan is. Now, there's Nathan coming across the start-finish line. On the run down in towards Turn 1. He's going to be potentially side by side with Connor. I think he's just going to be ahead, though. I think he's got the room. Yeah, he has. M Short's going to be ahead of Connor. Running down in towards Turn 1. Crucial for M Short. He's now on a set of soft compactor tyres. He's now going to be one of the fastest men out on track. And M Short now, he has got to treat every single lap, right to the end of this race, as a qualifying lap, while trying to maintain those tyres.
Yep, and one big thing that could really help M Short out is if Rocco tries to put Montana under pressure, because for right now, Rocco is still on for a net podium position here, and he may fancy himself to try and get second off Montana.
Yeah, he is definitely looking to try and get second off Montana. Rocco is still there. He's just hanging on the coattails of Montana at this stage. You'll Melmat now through on Connor, and Connor now struggling on that set of soft compactor tyre. And you'll Melmat now through, and he is up into 13th position, now into a net P5 as all the medium runners come in. Neo is coming in as well. Josh should come in as well as this. Verstappen is into the pit lane from the lead of the race, and he's now, where is he going to rejoin? Out on track, he's going to be behind M Short, and he's going to be behind Yul Melmat, and he's going to be where Connor was going to be coming out of the pit lane. There is Yul Melmat. Verstappen's going to be side by side with him, actually coming out the pits. And Yul Melmat's on the outside line, and Yul Melmat with the much better tyres in terms of the much better speed, I should say. Yul Melmat now ahead of Verstappen out on track, but he has got a penalty.
Yep, Yul Melmat there with the overspeed getting past Verstappen on the pit lane exit, and yeah, as you said, that penalty could come back to bite Yul Melmat in the rear, and Verstappen, he'll probably want to do this on track, but he'll know with that 3-second time penalty, he doesn't have to take any risks.
Look at your stats on the back of Josh. Montana is closing him down, and look now at where this is going to be putting Montana. 3rd position, M Short in 6th. It's not enough at this stage, but if Montana is on the back of Justas, and if Justas gets through on Josh, Josh will come into the pit lane. Montana's going to be 2nd. M Short is going to be 5th, and you would imagine Montana will eventually take the lead off Justas, because if he doesn't, and if Justas actually goes for glory himself, he's going to cost Montana the championship here tonight. It's as simple as that. So all rests in the hands of Justas out on track. Here he comes on the back of Josh, running down in towards Turn 1. We've got 11 laps to go. Justas down the inside line. He's got to get the move done, surely. Gets the car stopped, and now literally puts himself in the clutches of Montana. Perfection from Justas. He's through and he's into the lead of the race, but it gives now it gives now Montana a run on the back of Josh, and that was because Justas took a much slower line coming through Turn 1 and 2, and just backed up Josh into Montana, so Montana can get through sooner rather than later. But he just is now out of DRS range on Justas.
Yeah, Montana now over the back of Josh, and this is, I think it's going to be a foregone conclusion here, as he gets a much better run out of the second. There's Mo, DRS wide open.
Job done.
Simple as you like.
Josh is still putting up a fight though, running down in towards Ascari, but now on the brakes, job done. And this is where it gets interesting. Montana on 18 points at this stage. M Short is on 8. Is he going to be on 8 though, because he's right on the back of Nathan? M Short is going to be the fastest man out on track, regardless of the guys on a set of mediums ahead. He will be the fastest man out on track. Both of these guys there, Montana and M Short, have got to treat the rest of this session, the rest of this race, as qualifying laps. Josh is into the pits. It's going to promote M Short to 5th. It's now going to promote M Short to 4th, because he's right on the back of Nathan, running down in towards turn number 1, and Nathan is an absolute sitting duck, running down the straight. Ducks in a row, quack, quack, quack. M Short is through and he's into 4th.
Yep, M Short now up into 4th place. That's 12 points now for M Short, 18 for Montana, and as you said earlier, like, this is going to be crucial now. Will Justas put up a massive fight against his NSX teammate? We hope he does, because we want to see a battle.
Or has Justas just purely got the pace tonight? Has Justas got the pace and Montana hasn't? Montana was a second behind, and it's quite stagnant at that point. As soon as I say that, though, he gained a 10th. Rocco's in third, M Short in fourth. My only concern with M Short, he's on the quicker tyres, yes, but 3.5 seconds to the back of Rocco it was at the beginning of the lap. It's now 2.9. The wear of these tyres are now beginning to go off lap upon lap. I don't think, personally, M Short is going to get onto the back of Montana before the end of this race, because I think Montana will get through on Justas no matter what happens. We could see 2004, I think it was, Austria, Schumacher-Barrichello situation?
Perhaps. Not sure. M Short is absolutely flying right now, though. He's doing everything he can to try and catch up to Rocco. And Rocco, he's only 2.5 seconds, well, 2.2 seconds off the back of Montana. A penalty could really change things here.
Penalty will change things, and let's have a look at the penalties. Out on track, 3 seconds for Nathan. Verstappen is really pressurising the ball, and he nearly went into the back of him. Running down into Della Roccia chicane, through 4 and 5. My goodness me, I think there might have been an element of lag possibly in that, but Verstappen rear-ended Nathan behind him, out on track. And Nathan was very lucky not to get punted off there, if I've really got to be honest. Verstappen, he had all intention of what he was going to do. He's going to cut to the inside line on Nathan. He's not going to get the run down in towards Ascari. He's got to wait his turn. Rocco, 3-second time penalty, puts now M Short at a significant advantage. Out on track. As long as Verstappen is on the back of Nathan, Nathan is going to be holding these guys up, and nobody on the set of softs further down the field are going to be gaining on the likes of M Short further up the field. And that's as simple as. I think we're going to see a straight fight between Justas and Montana for the win. And M Short is doing all in his power to try and back off. We're going to get 3 wide down the straight. Here comes Joel Melmer off track. He's overtaken them off track down the inside line. Can he get the car stopped? Verstappen's on the outside line. Kooky Games and Nathan just back off that, thinking what on earth was going on there? Joel Melmer nearly overtaking off track. I think it was off track, to be honest, and now it's side by side through Curva Grande. This is great stuff between them both. And Kooky Games on Nathan. Nathan's an absolute sitting duck. Joel Melmer is through on Verstappen. Kooky Games is through. Connor has retired through Parabolica. He might have crashed that into the wall. Has he deployed a safety car? He has. Has he lost that on his own accord, though? Out on track. Has he lost that on his own accord? I don't think he has. Unless he's on the inside here. He's on the outside wall. There is no way at all that safety car is fair. Unless he has lost that going into the corner. That's all I could think. Otherwise, there's something fishy just gone on.
Yeah, unless he's gone to the grass on the entry into Parabolica and just completely lost all grip, there's no way you can use it there.
He's literally at the entry into Parabolica. He must be about 20 feet on the exit of Parabolica. There's Justas going around the final corner. His car now removed, but he was literally on the Aramco barrier, the board to the left-hand side. That's where he was, out on track. I'm not saying he did it on purpose, but if he can't prove something fishy has gone on there, then I don't know. Justas leads, Montana second, Rocco in third. It does provide an entertaining end to this race, but I don't know. I'm speechless, if I've got to be honest.
I was going to say, this is it's not so good for Vaporizer, because he's pitted and he's come out behind the lead cars. He would have been better staying out for that extra lap to make sure he didn't end up being lapped by a couple of cars. But for Ruda and Campbell, this is a breath of fresh life for their race.
Nothing from Connor in the Discord yet, or in the chat yet on YouTube. It's just, I'm honestly saying, it's just a weird position where the car was. It could be nothing. It could be absolutely nothing out on track. But I think he made a mistake earlier on in that. I can only assume he made a mistake earlier on in that, coming out of Ascari. He couldn't have really got a puncture as a result of that, because he just literally came out in the pit lane, what, 2-3 laps earlier. Unless there was a brake failure. Unless his brakes failed, completely, then I can understand that. Obviously with his setup, being on a wheel, etc., I can understand that. But there needs to be proof. I didn't see it, so I'll be honest there, I didn't see it, so hopefully, we get clarification on it. But we are going to have an exciting end to this race now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all going to be reset. Everyone bunched back up again. We've had 11th all the way down to 17th coming for a fresh set of soft tyres. That could play a factor as we go towards the end of this race. We got worn mediums and getting pretty much the same kind of levels now. The soft tyres are starting to get a little bit worn as well.
Ryan has said NSX at its finest. Well, we cannot prove he did it on purpose. If he has, I think it's cost NSX the win. It's because M Short is going to win this. Ideally out on track now. He's on a set of softs and he's going to be on fresher tyres towards the end of the race. There's no shadow of a doubt about that. All of these guys are going to come backing up into him. You're going to have possibly the likes of Yul Melmatt, Verstappen, Kuka Games, D Daniel, all the rest of the guys on a set of softs further down the field going to be going for this win. Now out on track. Ideally, those guys 4th down to 14th are within a chance now of winning this. I'll be honest. Justas is leading, Montana second, Rocco in third. Matthias saying, why would this be on purpose? It just closes up the guys on softs to fight for the lead. Yeah, I totally agree with that. But if it was done on purpose, and I'm not saying it is, but if it was, then it's cost NSX more than actually gained them. Because it's a full safety car. If it was a VSC, there wouldn't be any difference. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to be controversial, but I want to say how it is.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing now. Everything is now falling towards M Short now. He can really get himself ahead of Montana here and close that gap in the championship fight. M Short could possibly now take the win here today. Verstappen could even get a good restart and maybe getting there and battle the likes of Justas and Montana. So really is all to play for now. For the final, I think we'll have 4 more laps of green flag racing.
Yeah, we'll get 4 more laps, definitely of racing. And the guys on the set of softs, you've got to imagine, yeah, Verstappen and the likes have got to be in a really good spot at this point in time. Verstappen's there in 6th, he's got no penalties. M Short in 4th, no penalties. The guys around them have. They've got 3 seconds worth of penalties out on track, and they're going to be cost, and they're going to be dropping down the field as a result. Justas is in front, Montana in 2nd. We also have to throw in the element here. Justas and Montana were fighting, they were 0.8 of a second away from each other before the safety car was deployed. Justas and Montana both in the same team, both in NSX, 1st and 2nd. I said earlier on in the race, I thought Montana, it was going to be like Barrichello Schumacher. That's now gone out the window. But Justas is going to be the one controlling this. Does he go for personal pride and go for the win, or does he try and help Montana in the championship fight? Because if Montana wins and M Short finishes 4th, that's it. Job done. Montana's won the championship. It all rests on this man's shoulders, the Lithuanian, out on track.
We hope he's not just going to move over and let Montana through. We hope he's
I don't think he will.
We hope he's going to battle. The safety car will come in this lap. The question is, though, is if M Short gets past Rocco on the restart and gets alongside Montana, how much are the elbows going to come out?
Oh, I think the elbows are going to come out well and truly. It's Monza. It's Monza. 4 laps to go. There's going to be an element of desperation from a few of these guys out on track. This is going to get quite fiery. Out on track now. Ewan, by the way, is saying, and I think he might be correct with this, looks on the minimap as he had spun after that, was going slow and had gone straight and didn't turn into the final corner. It might be on purpose, and it might have not helped the guys, the NSX guys. Matthias has said, whatever has occurred, I'm sure the stewards will investigate. Here comes Justas, though, out through the final corner, and we're going to get underway. 4 laps to go. Campbell has picked up a 5-second penalty with Vaporizer, and that is shocking, coming off a safety car restart. But Justas leading the way. Montana 2nd, Rocco in 3rd. Yul Melmatt on the back of M Short. It's not a great restart from M Short at all, and Justas and Montana have got the field on the stretch, running down in towards turn 1. It's side by side between between Hardy and Josh further down the field for 13th and 14th. Then he goes all the way around the outside, does Josh. Trying to go around the outside, holds it on the inner. Oh, and there's a crash. That's Yilbeam and Kumblai coming together, I believe.
Yeah, Yilbeam and Kumblai, they get entangled with each other. Into the gravel they go, and down the order they will drop. And now M Short, he is all over the back of Rocco now.
Connor might have been disconnected, possibly, and then he rejoined, and then crashed when taking control of his car. That's another theory. Out on track, could well be. Well, we didn't see the incident, I'm just saying how it might be, but Justas leading the way, Montana second, Rocco third, M Short in fourth. We are still underway, and we've got 3.5 laps to go, and Mr. Short, in the comment section, you are going to be very, very now on tenterhooks. Your boy has got a chance, possibly of winning this race, on a set of soft compound tyre. Justas still leading the way, Montana in second. Montana looks pacey. Montana is right on the back. The Lithuanian against the Swiss man. 3 laps to go, and Monza is about to get possibly quite fiery out on track. It could be race of the season towards the end. M Short now closing on Rocco. He has got to commit this move. M Short down the inside line on Rocco. Rocco lets him go, and M Short is through down the inside line, and look who's in front of him, Montana. That changes up the championship in its entirety. Montana cannot win this championship now with M Short being in third and on fresher tyres. There is no shadow of a doubt about that. One penalty can swing this either way.
Yeah, and now M Short, he's got his championship rival directly ahead of him, and he'll want this win on track. He'll want to get past Montana. He'll want to get past Justas. He will want to maximise the points here today, and now he's got to get it done. Montana not the easiest person to overtake. Will M Short be able to do it?
Remember, we've got no DRS, and Nathan is shoving D. Daniel along further behind, running down in towards Ascari, and D. Daniel lunges it on Kooky Games. Oh my god, that was nearly a crash coming through into Ascari. Nathan now right on the back of D. Daniel. Here comes M Short on the back of Montana. The two championship rivals are about to go at it. Justas looks like he's got the pace. Yilbeam has crashed coming out of Ascari. It's too late now for a VSC. It's too late now for a safety car. 2 more laps to go. Nathan is down the inside of D. Daniel. They're side by side, and Nathan is through on D. Daniel's up into 8th position. Forceful move there by him. Montana on the back of Justas, running down in towards turn 1. Yul Melmat right on the back of Rocco. Rocco is under pressure, sustained pressure, running down in towards turn 1. Yul Melmat's going to do them all the way around the outside through 1 and 2. It's a brilliant move by German. Can he get the move done? D. Daniel, Nathan lunging it, and M Short right on the back of Montana. Goodness me, I don't know where to turn. Justas leading the way. Montana in second. Montana now closing up on Justas. He's not going to be close enough. Yul Melmat is side by side still with Rocco. Rocco is in 5th. Neo was riding behind on D. Daniel. Goodness me, I don't know where to turn. M Short looks at him the inside line. He doesn't commit the move. He's realising that he is there. And Montana now is under sustained pressure. Justas looks like he might just win this.
Yep,
and into the gravel! Kooky Games into the gravel! It's caused all sorts of carnage! And that's Neil that's round, caught up in the incident. Kooky Games into the gravel on the exit coming through Lesmo 2. That's his race over. Neil's race over as well. Caught up in all sorts of carnage. Vaporizer back into the pit lane. Justas leads. 2 more laps to go. 1 more lap after this. Justas leads. Montana second. M Short in third. 3-way fight for the win.
Yep, and now this is Montana's best opportunity to get past Justas for the race lead. DRS activated, and this is where he'll start to close.
He's not going to get him. He's not going to get him. Look at his ERS. He's on 3% ERS. Justas is on 21%. Justas might have this, and Montana to the outside line. And Justas picks up a 3-second penalty, and they're still side by side. And look at the Liv Meany make contact, and Montana is through on Justas. And now M Short has got a chance of being in second. Justas is fighting back at Montana. Justas using up the overtake mode to the outside line. Great stuff by the Lithuanian. He is through into the lead of the race. Montana in second. M Short nearly contacts him, nearly rear ends him. Coming through. Lesmo 1 now. Justas is back in control of the race. He's got a 3-second penalty. Montana and M Short second and third. I've never seen a race like this.
Oh, and now M Short, he's going to try and get past Montana. If M Short can get past Montana, he gets the win here.
He will get the win. It all rests on him. He's got to save the ERS though. Montana on 13%. He's got more ERS as M Short. M Short has now got to fly down in towards Parabolica. He hasn't got enough. I don't think he's got enough. D. Daniel and Nathan have had contact further down the field. I think Ruta is now through on them and still side by side and behind. But Justas coming around the final corner. No team orders here. Justas is going to come across the line to win this out on track. But it's going to be Montana who takes the win on penalties. M Short in second. A massive crash there by Justas. Verstappen misses out on a podium. Rocco fifth. Yilmaz sixth. Campbell dropping all the way then. That was Campbell 11th in the end. Campbell was 11th, 12th in the end at the end of that race, and he was miles behind. Kuki Games, so unlucky, he's still continuing on a fresh set of softs. He's going to be a lot across the line in 15th, and Vaporizer is going to finish in 16th. Disastrous race for him. Montana wins, 0.3 of a second out on track from M Short, and the championship hopes keep alive going into Belgium.
Yep, M Short able to make sure the championship goes another round, and next week Belgium, Spa is going to be another fantastic race to tune in for.
What a thriller. What an absolute thriller of a race. I really enjoyed commentating on that. Kuki Games is doing donuts coming out the final corner. I think Vaporizer was a lap down. I hope he is. Otherwise, Kuki Games, you're going to get overtaken for 15th if you're not careful. Vaporizer coming out through the final corner. He realises Kuki Games on the left-hand side. And no, it's not for position, but he has just unlapped himself on Kuki Games, and I don't think he cares. The Slovenian does not care. Out on track, a really good qualified from him. Not so a race. Kuki Games is still doing donuts. Out on track, he feels like he's won the championship. He hasn't. He hasn't won the championship. Kuki Games is eventually going to come across the line, maybe until maybe Christmas. He'll come across the line then. Montana, though, has won. M Short second, and Justas in third position. What a race.
Absolutely fantastic. We said at the start of the stream this could be a race of the season candidate, and I think it might have definitely thrown itself in the mix.
Oh, and you have to feel sorry for Dan, who's missed out on this. Of course, stress with exams really coming about. Yul Momat takes Driver of the Day, awarded by the in-game fans. We really hope you've enjoyed this one, and congratulations, of course, to Mike for filling in for Dan and completing the whole set for Division 1. Here, commentating on his first race in Division 1. Hopefully it's not the last, but to the top step of the podium, Montana has won out on track, but the thing that I said earlier on, lap 1, when Montana forced off M Short's not happy. I wonder if there's going to be a stewards investigation, and it might cost them the win.
Could very well be. It'll be interesting to see what the stewards are going to say about that. But for right now, it is Montana on the top step of the podium and M Short in second place.
3 drivers have not picked up penalties, by the way. I just thought I'd mention that. Montana out on top, M Short in second. Another lap. Look at Montana's lap time compared to M Short. M Short at the pace. 20.4 compared to 21 flat. Montana was going to be overtaken. If that start finish line was a bit longer, like down in towards turn 1 I'm talking about, M Short would have won that. Montana wins, M Short second, Justas in third. A really good, valiant performance from him. Great race from him in third. Verstappen in fourth, Rocco in fifth. Really good race from him as well. Yul Melmat 14th up to 6th. And this is where we see all the guys on the side of mediums who started on that tyre on the into top 10. Ruta 7th, Nathan D. Daniel Kumblayan off the top 10, Neil Campbell picking up a point and the fastest lap, Josh Hardy, Kuki Games, Vaporizer, Yul Bream not classified in the result, Connor 18th, Chapelletti 19th, Chapelletti not even getting around a lap, Connor in 18th, and M Short, his father, has just said in the chat, reports are being posted as you speak.
Ooh, it's gonna get a little bit tasty in the D1.
Oh, I wish we had the stewards' investigations now live on stream. I'd love to hear the fallout of that, but unfortunately we don't. We've got Division 2 and Division 5, of course, coming up for you later on this evening. We're done pretty early. We're 10 to 8 now here in the UK. 20 minutes to go until Division 2 and Division 5. Get yourself a drink like I'm going to do, and we'll probably see you at 10 past 8. But, Mike, I'll come across to you. What a race for you to fill in on, first and foremost. Italy does like to deliver. Your final thoughts on the race, and who was your driver of the day?
Absolutely fantastic racing out there, and honestly, if I gotta give a driver of the day to anyone, it's gotta be M Short.
I agree. I think M Short definitely has to get driver of the day. A fantastic result from him out on track, but a lot of great races from there. Justas, I think, deserves a really good mention. Rocco, his pace was electric. He even came into it in the end on that sort of soft compound tyre. He was 5th in the end. He could have actually got towards the top end if it wasn't for his tyre strategy in that first stint. Rocco, a really good performance from him. But we will be seeing, of course, these guys in Belgium in a week's time. The potential championship showdown between M Short and Montana could reach its conclusions. We'll have the fallout for you, of course, next week. But from us, from myself and Mr. Michael Edwards, thank you so much for tuning in to LOE Division 1. Nearly said it, didn't I? LOE Division 1 for tonight. Really hope you enjoyed it. Please stay safe in this crazy world that we all live in. And until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye.